our presentation this afternoon. I want to introduce my group members, Tem Mateo and Maria Akeneta. We have chosen Fiji as our country for our group presentation. I will briefly discuss on the country profile of Fiji, the key sectors that drives the economy, briefly on the country profile, the tourism sector and its contribution, and the aviation sector. Very brief on the generic information that we have gathered. The Republic of Fiji Island is in the Pacific Island groups with a population of close to 1 million. The country is composed of 332 islands. Most of the population, however, lies near the coasts of Fiji. The Fijian economy is heavily dependent on sugar and tourism, both of which are susceptible to climate change. The largest religious groups is Christian, and which is 64.5%, Hindus 27.9%, and Muslim 16.3%. Official language is English and Fijian. The demographics of Fiji Island, estimated population in 2016 was 919,303, of which 51% are indigenous, Ratomans, and other Pacific Islands. Most of the Fiji's population lives on Vitilevu. Next to the thriving sectors in Fiji, we have come up with three: textile, agriculture, and sugar, and the most important one, which is tourism. Fiji has some of the best textile industry in the Pacific. It provides employment and also a thriving sector, which also contributes to the national gross domestic product. Agriculture, it remains to be important to Fiji's economy for income generation and food security. It also contributes to Fiji's gross domestic product and also supports the livelihoods of the Fiji's population. It is one of the main sources of employment in the rural sector. Going on to sugar, Fiji also depends on sugar as one of the main exports. It has been at the forefront of Fiji's economic development. The most important one is tourism. Tourism remains Fiji's fastest growing industry and is the largest foreign exchange earner. The industry earning increased by 4.5% in 2018, totaling to 2.1 billion, exceeding the combined revenue of the country's top merchandise export, which is fish, water, sugar, gold, and garments. The most contributor to the Fijian economy, which contributes 30% of the gross domestic product, and it provides direct and indirect employment to the Fiji economy. We have shown some tourism statistics. The purpose of visit to Fiji, the purpose of stay of the tourist. Many tourists sought after experience which are found right here in Fiji, and they enjoy the water, exploring breathtaking beauty from above and below the surface, and the white sandy beaches. Most of the tourists enjoy coming to Fiji because of the various accommodation that is available in the tourism market. Tourism Fiji is the government's tourism marketing arm and is accountable for promoting Fiji as a tourist destination around the world. They have their offices in Nadi, Sydney, Auckland, Los Angeles, London, Germany, and China, with agents in India, Singapore, and Japan, reflecting the significance of visitors from this market. They work closely with our national airline, Fiji Airways, to market our islands in Singapore, China, and Japan. Tourism industry has contributed significantly to Fiji's economy and is the country's largest foreign exchange earner, and also provides employment directly and indirectly to an estimated 45,000 people, and is a fast-growing industry in terms of employment. The value of tourism in Fiji drives Tourism Fiji to continue to deliver a world-leading destination and help travel sellers around the world understand the beauty and the character of Fiji. We're going on to The tourism sector and its contribution, accommodation. Fiji has a good stock of accommodation which is of high quality and standard by international comparisons. Transportation. Fiji has 3 types of transportation that are very comfortable, which is land transport, sea transport. Fiji also has its own airplane that are high standard and international comparison. For attractions and the tourists, the beauty of the island brings and attract foreigners to tourists to become and see the creativity, historical sites and the uniqueness of the country. Fiji is also known for a good vacation place because it's close to the sea, the waterfall, the picnic islands, the beautiful sandy beaches and so on. Fiji also have a good adventurous and recreational places that attracts tourists to the country. Places like coral reefs, rivers, waterfall, mountain hiking and many other things that deal with nature. Fiji is one of the best places for events and conference, especially in the Pacific Island because of the quality of tourism supply and demand, which can provide a suitable place for meeting or any events. Many things to many people in places of industries. Travel simply means companies and people resell travel products that have brought or reserved from different from other parties in Fiji. Fiji has travel insurance, currency exchange, credit card, retail shops, internet. It is a cross-border movement of consumers. We are one of the most crucial aspect of international. We have provided some of the graphs. Contribution to tourism and gross domestic product. Last one is the aviation sector. Fiji has its own civil aviation. About more than 90% of visitors travel to Fiji by plane. Also more than 90% local living are shores by plane, and to mention locals who rely on domestic airlines to travel to Fiji. Therefore, the civil aviation plays an important role to the Fijian economy. The aviation sector in Fiji, the establishment of the state-of-art aviation academy in Nadi trained its own Airbus A330 and Boeing 737 pilots. Fiji also has its own maritime academy known as the Fiji Maritime Academy, and have been training students and also regional students that will equip each student to be qualified and competent professional in his or her own career. There are also major development in the airport infrastructure and divestment of shares. Fiji Airways performance over the years. Fiji has been achieving a remarkable turnaround of fortunes with a complete rebranding, a profit sharing scheme for staff, and the plan to expand its operation and service. We also have the domestic airlines, domestic market that improvement has been done to FijiLink to facilitate trade, tourism, and public travel needs that are essential to maritime communities. That's all we have today for our oral presentation. Thank you for listening.